Hello my lovelies, Susie here from Susie Mac Creations, and I've come to you today just to share a few thoughts with you really. I was having a tidy up of my papers, bits and bobs in my craft room, and I've come across lots and lots of printed out digital sheets from the collections that I have, from lots of different digital creators. And when I print out too many, I tend to pop them into files to use at a later date. But if they're not of a full digital collection, sometimes it's difficult to marry them up if they're different colour schemes or different themes. So I, like you, tend to browse YouTube, Pinterest and Instagram for inspiration. And I was doing this a few months ago, and I came across a couple of creators who have created no-sew journals. Now, I've never created one, I've never tried one, but they look fairly interesting. And I thought, well, I've got all of these digital leftover papers, and I have a lot from Amanda at Create with Scrimping Mummy. So, and I do keep them in folders, and I'll show you the folders here. This is my blue folder. This is my pink folder. Here are another blue folder. Different textures, different themes. Blue. Blue. Christmas. Christmas. Autumn. So I have all of these lovely folders and many, many more, may I tell you. With all of these, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 pages, whole pages within them. So I looked out my 3 Scrimping Mummy folders and came across some lovely, lovely papers that I can use in other creations if I'm making standard journals. But I wanted to have a go at making this no-sew journal. And I thought, well, why not pop the camera on and share what I'm doing? So this is me sharing the process that I found for a no-sew journal, using the lovely excess papers that I've printed out from Create with Scrimping Mummy. So I've already started the process, and I have printed out one extra piece of paper. And it's not paper, it's cardstock. It's 250 GSM. And I wanted a front cover, and I love this photograph and this paper. So I thought, right, I have some papers that will actually marry up with this. So this is going to be my cover. And we need, obviously, papers. Now, as I said, I've already collated and done some of the preparation work. So this is the prep that I've done, and this will become quite explained in a minute. But what I have done is I've chosen 2 papers to show you the process that we're going to use. So you define what size you want. Now, these are normal A4 sheets of paper, and I didn't want it too wide, excuse me. So I've already cut down my papers to approximately, let me see, not precise, but approximately just over 10 1/4, and I've kept them at 8 1/4. So the height is the same as an A4 piece. If you're in the UK, we are 8 1/4 by 11 1/4. Slightly different if you're in the USA, but the measurements are the same. You just cut them down to suit your size of journal. So this paper here is printed out at 11 3/4 by 8 1/4. So it's not 11 1/4, it's 11 3/4 it's printed out. And I want to cut this down to the same as that. So roughly about 10 1/2. Just going to pencil mark it there. And I'm going to cut this off. Pop that to the side. Bring this back in, and now I'm going to fold in half. And this was a misprint. My printer was playing up and it was printing out something on the previous page, as you can see from here to here. But I'm not going to discard it, so I'm going to fold this in half. And this still might be a bit too wide for me. Let me get my bond folder. And it possibly is too wide. Let me see. Oh, it is. I need another 1/4 inch off that to marry up with my other papers that I've chosen. So we're just going to slip back in and cut another 1/4 inch off roughly. So take it about there. Get rid of that. And fingers crossed, these are roughly about the same. Yes, they are. So the process of doing a no-sew journal is obviously not to sew, but we still need to be able to add it to a front cover and a back cover so that this makes the journal. So what we do is, if I bring this in and if I show you here, you will need a hole punch similar to this. Or if you have a crocodile, even a crocodile would do. And you're punching as far in as your hole punch will go. So that all of the holes are in the center fold. And they're all punched at the same level and the same up here. So if I show you with these two, I'll move this out the way just now. You've got to center it up, and the bottoms must be all the same. They must all be level at the bottom. The top doesn't matter so much. So we're going to take this in. I'm going to take it up as far as I can. I hope I'm in shot here. Like so. Turn it. And go up the top. Making sure that you're still, whoops, this is where it's tricky, so hold it there, take it in here, and again in the center, punch. Now if I bring in the pages that I've collated already, pop them just up there just now, I have added them all and punched them all top and bottom, and I've kept them all together using these paper clips in various stages, but we'll take these off because if we're going to do it together, we're going to do it together. So these are all papers that were left over from various journals that I've printed out. Some I've used are mine, and that's like the music paper, the blank page from a notebook, Scrimping Mummy, copy dyed from Scrimping Mummy. Again, these are all, this is vintage letters, this is French chic, this is just a page from one of my own notebooks. This is the pretty papers from Scrimping Mummy. Scrimping Mummy. So we've got all of these together, and if we bang it down and put them all in the centre, you will see the whole marries up quite nicely. So we're going to add these 2 pages. Now where I'm going to add them I'm not sure, but let's have a look. We have some lilacs, we have some greys, we have some blues. That's too close to that, so we'll take that away and we'll bring that, I think, in here. And if you do it that way, you will see the whole has lined up. Okay, and we'll pop this one. That's got more lilac in it than anything, so we're looking for between 2 plain pages. Let's have a look. That's quite nice, so we'll pop that one in there, close them up, bang it down. Now I can see that these are far too large, so I'm going to have to cut them again. I must have got my measurements wrong, so we'll take this one out and we'll cut it down to, let's have a look and see, 4 3/4. I did measure it wrong, but so 4 3/4. Take that off, pop that back in here, and here's my other one. Here it is here. Take it out. 4 3/4. Pop that away and put it back in here. Now they should all marry up nicely now. Fingers crossed. I'm not too bothered if they're not. I'm not bothered if they're not even. That doesn't bother me. But so long as they are all hole punched in the centre, and I can see that one is out of line. Which one? I don't know, because so look as if, oh no, this one. This one is out of line there, because it's crept up a little. Anyway, how are we? I did say to you in my last video that I was going to pop out to a lovely craft boot sale, but sadly I did not make it. I had a little tumble down some stone steps again, and I sprained my ankle and bruised it quite badly, and I couldn't go. My poor little ankle, it swelled up like a balloon, so I had to let the girls know that I couldn't make it, sadly, but I'm sure they all did well. I'm going to line these up now, and I'm going to do just 2 or 3 at a time so that you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to use the paper clips to keep them together. One at the bottom, excuse my arms, and one at the side. We'll take another couple, and again, I mean, you may find a better way of doing this, but for me, this is the way I'm going, so that when I come to do the closure, take another 2, bang them down, put them there, take that paper clip out, and I shall pop this in there. Another 2. I think I've got about 12 or 13 pages. We'll count them later. I will just pop another paper clip on there, and we'll take another 2. I think this is a great way of using up colour schemes that you have, with a slight variation, obviously. They don't have to all be blues or what have you, but for me, I like my papers to coordinate. I couldn't put yellow with bright green or red with pink, or I just couldn't do it. And there's this in my brain is going to be a kind of vintage No Sew journal. Then I'm sticking with the vintage themes that I've already printed out. So we shall make this our centre page, and I need another paper clip, so we'll take the one out the bottom. Oops. And we will pop it back on there. So that's our signature ready to go in. I'll pop that over there, and I'll bring this back in, because although this is 250, it's going to be holding a fair bit of weight, really. So I have this fabulous masking tape. It's not masking tape, it's like it's not stretchy, but it's not pure white, and I'm going to reinforce my seam. And as it's not white, and this paper is not white, it's a kind of beigey creamy colour, I'll just get my scissors, I'll cut off the excess. I won't bother doing the outside, the inside will be plenty. Snip off the excess. Get my bone folder again, just burnish it. When I come to decorate this particular front and back, you won't see that washi tape. I will either stamp over it or stencil over it, or something along those lines. So what we do now is I need to find the centre again of this, and using my hole punch, go in as far as I can and punch, turn it, go in as far as I can, making sure you're central, and punch. Now that's going to be for our closure, and what I'm going to do is bring in my sari silk, which I've already sourced. And if you want your ribbon to be in the centre inside, then you have to start from the inside and go out. But I don't want that. I want to have my ribbon coming from, oops. Now let me get this right. I'm rushing ahead here too much. Yep, I do want to start from the inside because I want my bow to be on the outside. So if I take this and pull it through, and then pull it through here slightly. Oops. Turn it round. Take the other end and pop it through here. And take it through here. Close it over, pull. Oops. Making sure that you're in the center here. Pull it through. And just even it up slightly. This will give us a bow here. You could go with string, you could go with sari silk, you could use ribbon, you could use lace. Take off all of the paper clips. And you see it's important you get it right at the bottom. The top doesn't matter so much, because even if you're coming in and you have no particular, I'm trying to find, this one hasn't got a hole at the top, but the bottom and the preceding paper will keep that in place. And it's the same with this. We just cut the edge of it. That will keep that in place, and the same with the music paper. So we're keeping this loose at the moment, but I will tighten it up later. So basically that's your no-sew journal, and now all you have to do is go in and decorate, which I'm going to do. I have lots of fabulous little photographs that I'm going to be using. Primarily, most of them are from Amanda over at Create with Scrimping Mommy. Some of them may not be, because they are mixed up, but I think most of them are. Yes, they are. And I have excess papers, abundance of excess papers that were cut off the edges. They're still in the folders, but these can be used to decorate the pages, can be used to, this is going to be a flip out, so you could keep this plain, or you could decorate it using something else, and it's a tuck spot. You could add an envelope to the inside. I'm going to decorate this with you using different papers that have been left over, etc. So you have your no-sew journal. Not sure about the closure, and I think this is just slightly too big, but I will come in and I will adjust that accordingly. It could be that we need that excess to put some tabs on. So there's a no-sew journal method that I found on YouTube a while ago. I think it's been done by quite a few. I know it's been done by Ruby and Pearl. I know it's been done by Well Loved Journals. Not my idea, not by a long chalk, but I love it. It's quick, it's easy, it makes wonderful gift ideas. Or if you're going to craft fairs, it would make a lovely addition to your stock. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I will pop the camera on again when I'm starting to decorate it. I'm just going to put my brain in gear and get some other papers together, and then we'll come back and add some pockets and tucks and envelopes, etc., and decorate them together. In the meantime, thank you so much for coming to visit with me, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.